Why some women are admitting divorce regret by T Red. Sounds interesting. Sounds interesting. There's a few people that I know of that definitely have this. I know a few, especially single moms that have this. They regret divorcing due to various reasons. One was, somebody else, a third party, planting that seed. It's just interesting. It's just interesting. We'll just look at this. We'll just jump in. To be fair, and there's also others that were like fooled by social media, right? There was this whole movement where like, remember the 4B stuff that happened a while back ago? Like that trend was mostly on TikTok, but it was a thing where like people said, divorce your husband. Women said, divorce your husband, break up with your husband. And some women genuinely did that. And genuinely regretted that. That was another one.
So I'm noticing a pretty disturbing divorce trend happening right now. And that's where you have a woman, right? And she decides to get a divorce to find her happiness, find herself is usually the reasoning. So she goes through happy phase. And happy phase is where you know what she's doing. Like, we all know what she's doing, right?
Whoring around. Remember, guys, this is just a dopamine kick that will not last. Happiness is not a lasting condition. It is in its core just dopamine that will fall off eventually. And then the reality sets in. This is why I'm always saying, if you are dating, if you try to find a partner, a husband, a wife, whatever, don't just follow your own dopamine. What gives you the kick? Because you might get kicked off of that one. Oh yeah, all the women shave their heads. That was the hypocritical part, right? They said like, shave your head so you're unattractive to men, which then send the signal to women that naturally have issues with their hair, right? That are, for example, balding or are bald due to a condition, saying that, yo, girlies, y'all ugly, y'all are ugly, basically. And I hated it. I hated that. It was the most hypocritical aspect of this. Happy face or hoe face? Hoe face.
So she gets out of happy phase. She realizes that dating now is harder, or that, hey, my life isn't as comfortable as it used to be. And now she goes into regret. The way she seems to do it is she'll go online and find sympathy. If there's one thing I've noticed, it always seems, maybe this is just what I've seen, but I've noticed that women that are in groups tend to be single. It's almost as if women...
Simple. Because other women keep... Single women keep single women single. If that makes sense. Or they will make a woman in a relationship single. That is the problem. That is the problem. This is why I'm saying, also, another one that I'm always repeated. Do not listen to people giving you dating advice online when they themselves are not in a relationship. Why you take advice for somebody that is not in a stable relationship and appears to not only not be in one, but also never be able to keep one? That's another one. Some people look better bald because they have good head shapes. Yep. There's a lot of men, for example, that like are bald, right? But the beard just makes up for it. That's another one. You kidding? We had a radio podcast about couples and their troubles. The host told everyone to throw their partner away. Yeah, it's just insane. That is just insane. I recall the host over and over and overthrow him. He's not worth you. Move on and such. So what is your advice? The grass is in fact not greener. My advice is the grass is in fact not greener. It isn't on the other side. Chances are that if you think you could do better, that you likely won't do better. Get your shit together. If there's problems in your relationship, fix those problems. That is all I can say, really. I think a big problem nowadays is people just replacing each other way too quick on based on meaningless troubles. Simple. Because advice: get together, make kids, marry and reproduce. Shinzo Abe.
women do keep each other single. And there's that whole thing going around right now where the saying that women keep each other single. And I think it's, at least what I'm seeing, I think it's true. So I want to show you an example.
How did I know it was time to end my marriage? Number one question from women in my DMs. I'm gonna get into some pretty heavy topics in this video, so just a trigger warning. I'd say about a year before I requested a separation, started to feel my sense of self slip away. Having disassociations multiple times throughout the day, started having extreme senses of deja vu. Since learned through therapy that it can actually be a sign of anxiety, and I think I just didn't recognize it in my body because I just didn't want to acknowledge what was happening. Be driving around the Bay Area, a place that I have been wanting to leave for so long. I remember I would just have these moments in my car just being like, what are you doing? Why are you here? Almost like putting myself in the multiverse, Spideyverse, like this is not the universe that you're supposed to be in. I felt like I had no energy by the things that brought me joy. I feel like all these emotions and all these things were compounding. And I called my mom and I just told her, like, I am so depressed. I don't recognize myself, don't have any hope for the future. I just feel so down. That she was like, you need to come home. I never want to feel to the point that I'm that hopeless, that I have nothing to look forward to. I feel like I can't get out of bed every day. The hardest thing for me to admit is that I am at rock bottom right now. No idea what the future is going to look like, but I know there is one. And I know there is one that I'm going to be.
Get to the point! What are you yapping? Yeah, bro. Bro, what is she yapping? Okay, she basically, right, if we go back to where it started, right, the title of this little TikTok video, right, if we go back, is how do I know my marriage is over? And what did she do? Yap about, like, her purpose and existence. Is there... I have a hot take. This woman does not know why she ended her marriage. This woman does not know why she got her divorce. There was no genuine reason. She didn't name a genuine reason except that she felt down. This was... What? Work together, make the grass green again. I see it. I see the vision. This is gonna be my my slogan for fixing the dating market. If you've got to ramble that much to make your point, you don't have one. She said nothing. She said nothing. She just said nothing and cried.
Excited about, and I know I'm gonna look back at this time and be like, wow, if you got through that, you can get through anything. You're losing yourself to the point that you don't even recognize yourself anymore. It makes sense to start questioning if this is the path you want.
So as you see, she's clearly unhappy and doesn't want to be married anymore. But what she's doing is she's associating her unhappiness with her marriage instead of looking at...
Yeah, that's the thing, right? She never named the reason. She didn't even really name the reason. She didn't even name the marriage as the issue. She didn't say anything. Of course, this could be out of context, but from the context we have, she didn't say anything about her marriage. What her marriage is like, what her husband is like. She didn't say anything about that.
Herself and seeing if maybe there's something that she's doing that's making her unhappy. So here's the first phase, right? So now she gets a divorce. And then this other thing happens too, right? Where a woman starts, like when she starts feeling unhappy and she needs that validation to get divorced, she'll go online. That is the quickest way to get a validation for your divorce. And I have another video planned where...
Yeah, because other women that did pull the same bullshit... will validate your decision. This feels like a decision that was made on a whim.
I want to show more of that. But so she'll go online and she'll get validation just like that to get a divorce. So let me show you what happens when they realize they made a mistake.
I'm really starting to question if I made the biggest mistake of my life. I wanted to post how I'm feeling because...
Any chance of love post-divorce as a story? That is terrifying. Oh no. Oh no. The consequences of my own actions. Do you not have just talk to her husband, have a nice chat, maybe go to therapy together? They'll shag even if she is even in C. Shag even in C if physical intimacy helps. True. This is so stupid.
Wow, the highs are great, but the lows are really low. In 1 month since I moved into my apartment, and this is my second week on my job, now that things are quiet, I'm finding myself reflecting a lot. I just feel so painfully uncomfortable. Of course, I'm questioning everything. I'm really trying to force myself to remember how bad things were and how bad things got repeatedly for me to get to this point. I think I'm just having a really hard time being back at square one. Not cry, I cannot afford to buy more eyelash serum right now. Being a wife, being in a relationship, it feels so natural to me. Like putting myself out there, being single, dating, doesn't at all. That I think I thought moving to my hometown would be really good for me recovery wise, but I'm just finding it's not. Really thought I would have family support moving here and finding that that's not the case. And it's been a really tough pill to swallow to realize I'm kind of on an island.
Oh no, I wonder why you don't get the family support. Is it possibly because you made a stupid decision? By any chance, right? Could that be the case? Why you not getting the family support? Right? By any chance?
I know so many people would die.
And everybody knows that you made a stupid decision? They just don't want to tell you that you did?
I had the opportunity to have no strings attached and travel and start over and date a bunch of people, but that's just not my personality. I'm $10,000 in debt from all of this. Like, I don't know where
you cannot
people
be this,
are just getting.
You cannot be this stupid. I think the greatest threat to humanity is stupidity at this point. You cannot be this stupid. So, you're divorced on a whim. You got nothing out of it, right? No support. In fact, your life got potentially worse. The lows are lower, as she said it, right? And you're 10K in debt. Hilarious.
Money to do all this stuff. I have 2 dogs that are quite literally the only things making me feel sane right now. Point I'm just really questioning like if I'm ever meant to have like a normal happy life, which maybe sounds dramatic. I just feel like the things that come really natural to other people are just so hard for me. I feel like I'm not asking that much. Like I just want a normal life. I want to have kids.
Imagine being the ex-husband and seeing this BS. I'd be livid. I'd be so angry. I would put you in another 10K debt. I don't care. Bro, she wants to have kids. I want to be married. You were married. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. What? No, she's stupid. No, she's not just stupid. That's undermining what it is. This is the brainwashing they're talking about. Nah, bro. Nah, no way. She was so close, yet so stupid.
I want to be married, and it just feels like that's not in the cards for me. Just really.
What are you talking about? You were married.
Really interesting because I feel like the swings of emotion with this have been so drastic. Days like today where I feel dead inside. Like I'm crying all the time on TikTok, and now my eyes are just like dead again.
Yeah, you're dead inside. Up there. You're dead inside. But up there, there's nothing going on up there. It's just hot air. It's just hot air. You can't even be in pain because a vacuum doesn't feel anything. The synapses are not firing. Nothing's firing in this woman.
And multiple people in my life have told me I'm icy, and I'm just like, literally, what do you want me to fucking say to that? If you're feeling like me at any point, I just encourage you to go through my divorce playlist and look at any of the comments from people doing that on a regular basis, and you guys have helped me so much. I don't know, I just want to be honest today because, again, like a few days ago.
The people that likely encouraged you. The people that likely encouraged you to end up like this. You're thanking the retards. I can't do this anymore.
Feeling pretty good. Today I feel horrible.
Yeah, so she realized she had it good, and she threw it all away. Now she's not going to say that she was wrong, even though she was. So consequences. You make choices, you gotta deal with the consequences. What are you gonna do? So then this happens. Yeah, she promotes divorce.
This bitch is got so miserable and bitter that she now has to make other women feel like her, end up like her. I can't do this anymore. Leave other women alone, please. What is this?
That's the next step. It's easier at the time to bring everybody down with her rather than look at what she's doing and take some responsibility and actually improve herself so she doesn't get herself in this kind of condition again. I'm going to show you another video here.
I am honestly really sad right now, if you can tell. That's like the weirdest thing about grief is like, didn't cry for 2 days, was good for 2 days, and now I'm by myself, and it's just like the hurricane, like it's here again, you know? It's, the tsunami is back. Like, it's just so hard, and like, I'm frustrated because I, my whole world got disheveled. And I feel like he has moved on, and he is...
You wanted the divorce! These bitches are stupid! These bitches are stupid. These bitches are... You wanted a divorce, and now you're complaining and you're divorced! And he has moved on. You don't want him to be happy either. You just want to... You just want to be... Just fucking admit it. You want your husband back, but he has moved on now. That's the truth. You just want your husband back. No. How does this happen? How does this happen? You don't want to be with him. You don't want him to be with somebody else. What do you want?
Healed and moved on and doesn't care about me, which I don't want him to come back and...
Yeah, no shit. Why would he? Why would he?
To my life, but it still just sucks, you know? I can't imagine, thank you guys for sharing stuff, like stories that you've been, like you've gotten through this and it's been however many years, because I could not imagine that. I can't imagine being with someone for a really long time and going through this, Sorry if you can hear my cat literally playing in the background.
She's already started being a cat lady. She's already started being a lonely cat lady. The transformation has already begun. There's no coming back from this.
Like, I was only with him for 4.5 years, 1 year married. I could not imagine, though, being with him for longer and this happening, but it's just so sad sometimes, and it's like so hard to have to learn how to do life by yourself again. Like, you don't have that person to call all the time or that best friend to go do things with. And that's what scares me. I've never truly been alone and worked on myself, and I'm terrified of it.
So she divorced her husband and then expected him to fight to get her back. She doesn't...
That's the worst part, right? That's the worst part. She probably didn't even want to leave him. This was a decision on a whim. And the worst part is possibly that this wasn't even her own idea. That's the worst part. And these same women will tell others to leave their husband because he didn't load the dishwasher. Yep. Probably watch some podcast. 2. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Doesn't want him. She just wants the validation that she gets from the attention he gives when he tries to get her back. That's all she wants. She doesn't want him. What upsets her is that he's not doing that. Instead, he's moved on with his life. I've noticed men are very good with this. Maybe not all, but a lot that I've seen, they move on. And that's the thing to do. And he does the right thing. He moves on. And it sucks for her because he moved on and she didn't. And so basically, the only attention she can get is from people online. Mainly other women that have decided to do the same thing. And so she gets sympathy from them. She makes a video and cries and posts it, and it will get views. But a lot of times they expect the men to still try to make it work, even though they initiated the divorce. And 70% of divorces are initiated by women. They enjoy it when men give them this attention. They love it when they beg for them to take them back. And when they don't, when they see the men move on.
I will not be begging. If ever anything happens, I will not be begging. Nuh-uh. The moment, like, bro, most men, very much most men, especially when they're older, you fuck around, you're gonna find out. Just saying.
On, especially when they marry somebody younger and hotter. Oh, they are not happy about this. And unfortunately, you can't make a woman happy. You can add to it, but a woman's got to make herself happy. And if she's putting it all on a guy or kids or something, then, hey, it doesn't work well. I think we as women, we don't need to validate ourselves by crying and making these crying videos and try to get sympathy from people. I think we can do better, and I think we're a lot better than that. So that's my thoughts on it. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Like, comment, subscribe, and yeah.
True. Like, comment, and subscribe, even to her. This video was good. This video was good. I agree with her. This is gonna get worse. This is gonna get worse. This is gonna get significantly worse. It probably won't get worse because there's less and less relationships that are going to be formed. Let's be honest. Men are starting to avoid relationships altogether. I mean, like I said, we have already men avoiding being in the same room, sharing an elevator, anything with women out of fear. Yeah, we're cooked. We're cooked. Straight up. There's no denial. Straight up. Women with curly hair by straightener. The straight hair curler. You can't make that species happy. Many times we called it karma. I guess father is its child. Yeah, pretty much. It's just this behavior will get worse. But that's really it. Possibly. Because we let other people dictate how we act in relationships nowadays. And not just relationships, but in general, I think. That's just a general thing. Stop letting third parties get involved in your relationships. That is not just the internet. That's family and friends too. Others will try to sabotage your relationships, and it can work. I'm a victim of that.